Hey everyone, welcome back to Beer and Money. We've had quite a few new viewers and listeners and clients, and it got me thinking that I've never really shared much about my backstory. I've learned a lot about my clients. I learned about sometimes what they eat, their workout routine, their goals, their dreams, their sending their kids to college, all of that stuff. But I don't share a lot about myself and why I do what I do. And so I thought I'd go through that today just to get some better communication and a better understanding of what I'm all about so that hopefully I can build some trust in you all. And if anything that I say can help you, I hope that it brings some value to you. So I'm going to start at the end first. So I've been married to Diane now for about 21 years, come actually this July. We met actually at a grocery store, QFC, for those of you in Washington State, in 1999. And we started dating and have been together ever since. We've got two kids, a girl and a boy. Madison's 16, about to be 17. And Nate is about to be 15, actually. This is my 16th year in the business. And I think like many business owners, my story has had its ups and downs. I started in 2009, which wasn't the best timing to enter the industry. I didn't have much business or financial background as I was a communication major. I graduated from University of Arizona in 2003, bear down, by the way. And when I graduated, I really didn't know what I wanted to do or be, but I knew I needed a job. So I called up a buddy of mine and I asked him, what his plans were. He was going to work for Enterprise Rent-A-Car. So I asked him for an intro and I interviewed, and luckily I got the job. Now, I didn't realize it at the time, but it was the best spot for me to start at. Their program taught us how to be a business owner, but started you at the bottom. So you had to work really from the ground up. And the biggest piece about working from the ground up was I learned how to communicate and communicate well. Learned how to multitask, but really focus on each task and move on. And as I moved through their program, I became a manager, which then taught me how to be a business owner. And that was huge given what I do today. I was responsible for not only training new employees, but running the books of the business. And that helped me learn the financial side of stuff and really got me going. Eventually, I got sick of renting cars and did a quick stint in selling payroll services to business owners. I absolutely hated that. But then I fell into the auto and home insurance industry. And this is where things really started to change for me. I love learning about products, but I wanted to really understand my clients' goals and finances so that I could be more of an advisor than an insurance agent. I didn't feel like I was really helping people, though, as I started working more and more in this industry. I talk about the protection, but I didn't really know their goals. I didn't know their net worth, didn't know their lifestyle. I didn't really know much. And that got me thinking more and more about that as I was in the industry, and it started to bug me. Luckily, several years later, I met my soon-to-be, I guess I'll call him my uncle-in-law, and I guess that's what you call him again, at least. And then on at Christmas time, we were on a drive, he and I, and he randomly started chatting with me and asking what I do. And as we started talking, out of the blue, he goes, "You're in the wrong industry." And kind of took me back at first because I was like, who in the world is this person telling me what industry I should be in? He doesn't know much about me at the time. He ended up telling me that I should be a financial advisor or financial planner. Now, my opinion at the time, especially around financial advisors, at least what I thought of them was they're investment managers or stock pickers. And that really concerned me because I didn't want to be the person that made or broke someone's retirement based on what at that time I thought was guessing on which would be the best investment option. He ended up convincing me to talk to someone here locally in Seattle, which changed everything in my career, in my life, and in my family. But by the way, if you're listening or not, I really appreciate that introduction. I appreciate that conversation we had. So as I started talking with the Seattle agency, they started talking to me about what a real advisor, at least in their opinion, does and how they work truly holistically with their clients. And I'll never forget this part. They said that cash flow is the true reason around our planning. meaning it's our greatest financial resource. Without the money coming in the door, we wouldn't be able to save money. We wouldn't be able to spend money. We wouldn't, paying taxes and tax efficiencies. We wouldn't know what to protect, right? And we wouldn't know how to live out our most desired lives, right? Our goals. And if you think about it, how many people are we talking to every day, possibly around our money, right? We all have a property and casualty agent, which is what I was doing, auto and home insurance. We might have a CPA. We might have an attorney or estate planning attorney. We might have a mortgage advisor. We might have a brother-in-law who thinks he knows everything. Yet none of those people know our financial background, know our goals to the extent that I think they should. And they definitely don't talk to one another, so that we are bringing in the experts where they're the experts and then coordinating to build a plan for the individual. And as they're talking to me about this, I'm like, man, that's exactly what I want to do. So over the last 15 years, I've been studying, I've been learning to do just that. And here's the crazier thing. While I'm quite good, and more importantly, my team behind me is quite good at financial planning, investment planning, all the stuff I've been talking about, what I found is to be the most valuable is communicating simply with people, and more importantly, helping them take action. Right? It's not easy to talk about money. It can be a ton of stress. Take the taboo of money and then the experience that each individual brings to a marriage, and it gets real hard, right? To get them to talk, to develop a plan, and then let alone implement that plan. And what I've found is that's actually my favorite part. Getting to know the family, getting to know what each person wants and getting them to talk about it, and getting them to talk about free about it, developing a plan of what it is that they want and helping them decide how to get there based on what their wants are. So my job is really to learn about what you're wanting, show you how money works so that we can build a plan towards your goals. And your job is to look at and tie it back to that piece. And so getting people to act so that they can get to accomplish their goals is really my favorite part. And that's really it, right? It's not about money. It's about what it is you want to do with your time. No one likes stressing about money. Families want to spend time with one another. At least most of them do, right? At times, I know, myself included, sometimes you just need a break. But in the end, let's just call it what it is. We want to spend time with our loved ones. We want to be healthier. We want to spend our time how we want to spend it. Money just allows us to do that. So in the end, what is it that I really do? I help people figure out what they want to spend their time on and help you implement a plan to get there. So I hope this episode was good. Again, I just want to share with you a little bit more about myself and how we operate. As I said, I've gotten a lot of new clients, a lot of new listeners on this podcast, and I wanted to share a little bit about that for the purpose of you understanding the authenticity, who I am as a person. Hopefully that can build some sort of trust and relational aspect for you so that you can take some of this guidance and further and better your life for what you want. So check us out at beerandmoney.net, and there's a whole bunch of other videos there and episodes that we've covered, everything from taxes to mortgage advising to estate planning, right? And I'm gonna start working in some like real life scenarios as well. So I hope this episode is valuable for you. As always, cheers.
This podcast is for informational purposes only and is not to be construed as tax, legal, or investment advice. Although the information has been gathered from sources believed to be reliable, please note that individual situations can vary. Therefore, the information should be relied upon only when coordinated with individual professional advice. Guest speakers and their firms are not affiliated with or endorsed by Park Avenue Securities, Guardian, or Quantified Financial Partners, and opinions stated are their own. Guardian, its subsidiaries, agents, and employees do not provide tax, legal, or accounting advice. Consult your tax, legal, or accounting professional regarding your individual situation. All investments and investment strategies contain risk and may lose value. This material is intended for general public use. By providing this content, Park Avenue Securities LLC is not undertaking to provide investment advice or a recommendation for any specific individual or situation, or to otherwise act in a fiduciary capacity. Please contact a financial representative for guidance and information that is specific to your individual situation. Ryan and Alex are registered representatives and financial advisors of Park Avenue Securities LLC, OSJ 200 Market Street, Suite 1850, Portland, Oregon 97201. Phone number 503-221-1226. Securities products and advisory services offered through Park Avenue Securities, member FINRA, SIPC. Financial representatives of the Guardian Life Insurance Company of America, Guardian, New York, New York. Park Avenue Securities is a wholly owned subsidiary of Guardian. Quantified Financial Partners is not an affiliate or subsidiary of Park Avenue Securities or Guardian. Ryan Burklo, CA Insurance License Number 0K24924. Alexander Collins, CA Insurance License Number 0H24806.
7712739.1, expiration date March 2027.